Hey, you guys, welcome back to the podcast. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a series of podcasts about the past, present, and future. Because we most often look to our past to gain evidence for what is possible now and possible in our future. And this affects everything, right? It both positively and negatively, right? Because if we look to our past and see that we can do something really well, then we're going to keep trying to keep doing those things. But if we look to our past and see that we're not very good at something, we're not maybe going to do those things, and it's going to limit us, right? So it affects our present and our future by helping to determine what we are willing to think and do in the present. And what we do in the present creates our future. So it's important to understand the significance of each tense and how you interact with each of them. If you want to create an amazing future, you have to act today, pulling only useful information from your past. We want to live in the present too, right? We don't want to just be like looking to the past or looking to the future. We want to also be present in the moment, enjoying what we currently have while keeping a clear vision of the future. So consider this an introduction to the next 3 weeks of podcasts, okay? In this physical world that we live in, we live each and every day by faith. Now, if you are not religious or consider yourself to be a person of faith, just stick with me here. You'll understand it's not just in that sense, okay? But there is a scripture in the Bible, Hebrews 11, verse 1, that says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I want you to think about everything you do, okay? You flip on a light switch and you expect that the light will come on, right? You may not know how it works. You may not know like how electricity works and how the wires make the electricity come and how it goes from the switch to the light. You may not understand all of that, but you have faith based on past experience that flipping that switch up is going to cause light to appear. Same with turning on a faucet. You expect that turning on a faucet, you will get water. You have faith in that that's going to happen. You have faith that when you turn on your furnace, you're going to get hot air. Now, sometimes when we flip that switch or turn on the faucet, we don't get light. We don't get water, right? Things don't always happen exactly the way we expect them to, but that doesn't diminish our faith, right? We still know that there's a way to fix this, that things can be taken care of. We will have light again. We will have water again. And we know this from the faith that has been strengthened by our past experience. So faith gives us strength to continue, gives us strength to continue to live and to continue to try. Like, would you study if you didn't believe you could learn? Would you work each day if you didn't hope that by doing so, you would accomplish something? Would a farmer plant if he didn't expect to harvest? Our food, our work, and our homes all exist because of our faith. Each day we act upon things that we hope for when we can't see the end result. I want you to imagine for a minute that you are a minor league baseball player, okay? You're aspiring to be in the big leagues, of course, because that's the dream, right? You go to practice, it's all your scheduled practices, and you work really hard, and you have experience from these practices and the games that you play that you are strong in some areas and maybe a little weaker in other areas. You know what you're capable of because you have this past experience. So you're at a game, you're up to bat, you know from past experience, maybe a little bit about this player, the pitcher, how he generally throws. You have knowledge from your past experience about how good you are at batting, how good you are at like taking curveballs, when not to swing because it's too close or too far away, right? You have this past experience that gives you faith in your abilities at this time. So now we're in the present, we're at this game, we're at the plate, and the ball is thrown. In this present moment, you see the ball moving towards you, and you can predict where it's going to go in the future. And from that, we can plan where we are going to swing and when we're going to swing. So here's what's crazy. Not only are we using our past experience to have faith in our ability to do this, we are living in the present moment with a vision of the future, where that ball is going, to make a decision of what you're going to do right now to get that bat going where it needs to go, when it needs to go there to hit the ball. We are in the past, present, and future. What? Mind blown. So do you see how they can all just kind of work together? Right? You're in the present moment. You're not living in the past or living just for the future. You're living right now in the present, and you're making decisions based off of the past and your desired future. So awesome. Now, someone once said, and I don't know who it is, and I'm sorry, but they said, adversity is the trial of principle. Without it, a man hardly knows whether he is honest or not. To explain that further, it's easy to say that you would do something or react a certain way in a certain situation, but when faced with that situation, you may choose something differently, right? It's that adversity, when that adversity sets in, when you're actually faced with that trial and that situation, that's when the true test of your character or your faith takes place. It's like with parenting. We are all expert parents until we have a kid. And then we realize we had no idea what we were talking about. But we do our best, right? We look to our past to gain evidence for what we can do or not do. And we decide in the moment how we're going to act based off of those things and based off of what we want for our family in the future. Elder Neal A. Maxwell of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has said, one's life cannot be both faith-filled and stress-free. So let's go back to our analogy of the baseball game, okay? You have been taking risks, making changes. You've been growing, right? And I'm sure it has not always been comfortable. In fact, I'm positive that it's been really uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable and putting yourself out there is uncomfortable. But if you have this desire to go from the minor leagues to the big leagues, then you've got to take those risks. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to show up to practice. You've got to be willing to take the growing pains. You could choose not to show up to those games. You could choose to look to your past to find evidence that you don't belong in the big leagues and you're not a very good baseball player. And guess what? You're probably going to miss that hit. Or you can have faith in yourself, in your ability to learn and grow, knowing that you're going to win some and lose some and your value is never going to change. It's like I've said before, life is always 50-50. You're going to have 50% good feelings and 50% not so good feelings. You cannot have a faith-filled life and also a stress-free life. You've got to say yes to all of it. One more quote, and this one's from President Russell M. Nelson. He said, "Despite the world's commotion, the Lord would have us look forward to the future with joyful anticipation. Let us not spin our wheels in the memories of yesterday." So here's what I want to offer you. Your past was perfect the way it was because it gave you information, it gave you knowledge, it helped you to grow. There were good parts, there were not so good parts. And you can take the lessons from your past to help you make decisions now that will create a future that you want. Because your past does not define your future. What you do right now helps to create your future, and you do not have to keep doing the same things that you did in the past. Right now is not any better or worse than the past. You don't have to stay, like he said, spinning your wheels in the memories of yesterday, thinking that yesterday was so much, or the past was so much better than your life is right now, or that it ever could be. You could choose to believe that your life can totally get better and that you're going to make it better. You could decide that you're always going to have positive feelings and negative feelings, and that you just want to say yes to all of it and increase your capacity for both good and not so good. You could choose to focus on the parts of your past that prove that you know how to learn and grow and succeed and make changes and create and all of that. And use that to help you shape your future. All right, you guys, I know it's a short one today, but like I said, it's kind of an intro. So stay tuned for the next few weeks where we will be diving more in depth with past, present, and future, and how to really create what you want and focus on what you want and really live in the present moment. I'll talk to you guys later.